Hello. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Monday, January 26, 2020. January 26, 2026. I knew I was going to get tongue-tied on that. And this show begins now. Drummer, please let me talk next time. That was probably my fault, but it is what it is. How was your weekend, everybody? There was only 4 NLL games. There was also some NFL games that went down as well. One of them was the snow. And can I just say, part of me, a year or two ago, we talked about a winter classic in the NLL and how snow would be kind of cool. Folks, I have to admit, watching the second half of that Broncos-Patriots game, in my opinion, was not cool. But I know there's some lacrosse games that get a bunch of snow. So I just thought it was an interesting thing. But yeah, we are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. And we appreciate you for tuning in, because YouTube will not like it if I don't say this. There are products you can buy that also help the show out, and tagged in the video. One of them is a Blockbuster, like the old movie store Blockbuster shirt from 80stees.com. Great website, by the way. Dell 2-in-1 laptop. We got a Lego Star Wars set because that Mandalorian movie's coming up. And we got Warrior lacrosse balls from Walmart, which I wonder if they're at my local Walmart. Anyways, on today's awesome show, we're going to first talk to Pat Gregoire and get to our Week 9 NLL overreactions. Only 4 games, but 4 big-time conversations to have. Stay tuned also for Greggy's Grinder and Mike's Lunchbox. Who was underrated this week for Pat was doing the Lord's work, and what vintage lunchbox do I have at my side? And finally, stay tuned for 3 stars. It was hard not to pick 3 goalies. I ended up giving it to 2 goalies, another player, find out who those people are at the end. It is now time to bring in a pal who was on another, it was in Ottawa this week. It's Pat Gregoire, everybody. Welcome to the stage, Pat. How are you? Oh, great. We call it a beanie, y'all call it a toque. Great, whatever.
It's a toque. It's a toque, eh?
Whatever.
It's a toque, eh? And it has been snowy, cold. We got like another almost 1.5 feet of snow last night and yesterday. So we were snowed in yesterday watching football, but luckily none of that weather had any effects of us getting into Ottawa, because we saw one heck of a game, especially on one side of the coin.
I mean, it was a close game throughout. Just one team had the goalie that was playing that is unbelievable. When does he have a bad game, honestly? I don't know when Del Bianco has bad games.
Can't remember the last time he had one.
For the record, Adam Levy says, is Philadelphia season over? It's been over, for the record. Stay tuned for Colorado, though, since it's funny he asked that. Before we go.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I don't like Boston fans. I also don't like the old Patriots, so it's kind of hard. Nice mug. It's kind of hard for me to say go Patriots, regardless of which team won that game. Go Seahawks, though. How's that? All right. I mean, at this point, is that where you're at?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Love Sammy Darts. I love Sammy Darts. JSN is one of my favorite players to watch in the league.
Jackson Smith and Jigba's a really good player.
Yeah, he's nuts. But this is not a football show, Mike. It's a lacrosse program. Love it.
All right, so thank you for joining us. And as for you people that do not know, this is overreactions on Mondays with Pat. So these questions are going to be pretty, they can be kind of controversial, but that's fine though. First game, Wings fall to the Seals after blowing a lead. The score was 9-7. Seals improved to 3-3. Wings down to 1-5. Ben McIntosh, fresh off of injured reserve and into a hat trick. Nick Demuth made 44 saves, but it was not enough because Ruglieri looked good as well. The question is, though, is San Diego a playoff caliber team? I don't know if this game moves you or not.
So the game certainly doesn't move it, or I guess I could say the result, the win over the Wings, don't exactly instill a ton of confidence when it comes to this. The fact that they held that offense, and I know the offense has been struggling as of late, holding a team to 7 goals is nothing to shake a stick at. They beat the Warriors the week before, but I think you could argue that the Warriors were kind of playing with their food. But if Chris O'Reilly can give you the goaltending that he's given over the last couple of games, I think this team is at least competing for a playoff spot. I feel a lot better about this group than I did 2 weeks ago.
Fair.
We're losing 3 games straight. Their offense looked inept. The defense was chasing all over the place, and they were playing musical chairs when it came to the goaltending. So for me, I'm not going to say just yet that they are a playoff caliber team. They've got another game against Philly. If they win that, they're above 500 for the first year. But then their schedule gets quite difficult after that. They host Saskatchewan. They visit Oshawa. They host Halifax, go to Colorado, host Vancouver, or then go to Saskatchewan, host the Bandits, go to Toronto, go to Georgia, and then they wrap things up with the Super Joe Tsai Bowl with a home and home against the Vegas Desert Dogs. So for right now, I'll say they look like a team that can compete, but let's maybe reconvene this conversation in 3 weeks.
Before I get to my my answer, Captain said it's cold outside as Captain's bet slips the last 2 weeks. Polar bears are eating. By the way, speak for yourself, Captain. If I don't ever recommend a guy who's hit like 4 NLL ladders to tail me, but in 2 of the last 3 weeks I've had a good week. You've been on fire all year. In fact, I got the records right here. You went 2-1. I went 3-1. Gamble guy went 3-1. We're Polar bears are feeding us right now, but after last week's debacle. But yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Well, what did I go? Was I 2-1?
You were 2-1.
2-1. Okay, so I'm staying afloat. Obviously, not as hot as I was a couple weeks ago, but I'm avoiding that disastrous week where you don't pick up a. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm talking just betting in general. I'll be honest, fellas. This run that I'm on right now just simply does not happen. Part of me wishes I was able to actually wager on the NLL because I think my pocketbook would be looking pretty good. But again, This is just advice. This is just my picks. Not making picks on this myself. But happy. Hey, if the folks are going a cool bet and they're taking the money away from the Polar Bears, my bosses might not like that, but I'm happy that people are filling their coin.
And just remember, don't use promo code Pat because it probably won't help you guys out and make him look bad.
Promo code OTCB.
Yes. Oh, by the way, love that. Great podcast, great TV show at this point. So I don't know. Again, before I answer this question, I gotta ask you this: have you seen the Polar Bears? Their cousin, the Coca-Cola bear, is gonna be doing a blind taste test for Pepsi and Coke.
I did not see that. That's
a nice commercial.
That is amazing. I did see the polar bear, the Coca-Cola polar bear at the Georgia Swarm game a couple of weeks ago.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Yes, during that
it's cousin of the Cool Bet polar bears, I'm sure.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, not a brother or a sister, just cousins, distant cousins.
Fair. All right. So we're seeing the playoff caliber team. I feel like you read my notes here. My exact wording was, if O-Rig keeps playing like this, yes.
Yep.
I don't think there's much else to say because 2 weeks ago you were right. We were on a different mindset with this team, so I think we can move on now. All righty. Warriors defeat the Black Bears in Ottawa on TSN with Pat Gregoire, Matt Cullen, and double duty Ashley Docking for the record, which I did not know was going to happen this week. Vancouver improves to 4-2. Ottawa drops to 500, but they still have a 4-4 record for what it's worth. Christian Del Bianco, shout out to him later in the show, 42 saves, just 8 goals allowed, 1 primary assist. I believe that's 100 career points.
Yep.
Cost turnovers as well. Reed Bowering looked good as well. Confidence in Vancouver as a title contender, 1-10. I love these 1-10s, actually.
Okay, so I would say as a title contender, as a team that can win the championship, a team that could go on a deep run, I'm going to say 8.
Okay.
The offense finally came to life 5-on-5. I felt that was the one thing that was missing, and it did take a little while. They finally started to score some even strength goals. Their defense and their goaltending, you absolutely cannot go against what they've been able to do all season long. When you look at them on paper, when you look at the eye test, they are a championship caliber team. They've got vets, they've got young players, they've got speed, they've got transition ability. They can do it all. And Christian Del Bianco is the X factor. He's the best goalie on the planet right now. When he's locked in, he is impossible to beat. I thought that was probably one of his best games of the season so far. Just so calm in that net. And we know the offense is going to figure it out. They're starting to figure it out. Even if they are to only average 10, 11 goals a game, I'm okay with that, because in the playoffs, it's your defense and it's your goaltending that's going to carry the most weight. And if you can capitalize in transition, if you can capitalize on the power play, and that's exactly what they've been doing, they have the perfect formula to win an NLL championship. So for me, no doubt, this is a team that I still don't think we've seen the best from. And I'm believing in what Kurt Malosky's preaching. I'm believing in what this team, what they can do. I'm trusting the process. I believe that at season's end, this will be a team that everyone's saying, oh my goodness, look out. This is a team that can win it all.
Shout out to Robert, who says, good morning. He got snowed in today, but he can actually watch it live today. I like our replay Warriors show. Those are nice. I don't know how it's hard for me to do that, honestly, with some shows. So shout out to them. Shout out to Robert on that. So was it, I don't think it was Ashley's report. I think you and Matt were talking about on the broadcast how, maybe it was on Friday you talked about with us, that the Vancouver offense, like they just wanted to just not think about it too much. And just, was that on Friday's show that you said that?
Yes, it was. Keep it simple. Ashley had a hit about Kurt Malosky saying he kind of felt like he was overcoaching this group. So wanted to keep it simple. Keegan Ball told us earlier in the week, we got to shoot our shot. We got to take chances. We're giving up too many good looks. They were averaging, I think they were second or third last in most shots per game, which for a group with all that offensive weapons, that just cannot happen. And you could tell they simplified things. They still had structure, and they were just capitalizing on chances. And there's a couple of times where Keegan Ball said, all right, I like this matchup. I'm going to use my speed. I'm going to use my athleticism. I'm going to take it to the net. So I was thoroughly impressed with Vancouver. I thought, to be honest, Mike, that score line was pretty favorable to Ottawa. I think it made it look like a much closer game than it actually was.
Especially because Ottawa, I don't believe, scored in the fourth quarter, and that was like a wild thing that we were hoping would happen, but for entertainment purposes, but did not happen.
And as Adam Levy says, the OTCB curse, because he and I talked about it. It was one of our social clips about how good Jeff Teat was, and he was held off. You mentioned Reed Bowering. He was one of the players that, I think jumped off the page for me as well. He also was a big reason why Jeff Teat, and I say this kind of tongue in cheek, he still had 3 goals and 3 assists.
Just ridiculous. Under 7 points though.
Under 7, there you go. So for me, I like Reed Bowering's game. I thought he was great, but I thought the entire defense was good. I thought there was some individual performance. Ryan Dilks, I thought, was outstanding, and maybe another player that we'll get to later in the show.
Owen Grant was also snake bitten on a goal, but he is so good. All right. They also talked about what is that? Oh my gosh, they shared a reel about a court. Kangaroo Court, which I'd never heard of before.
Yes.
Good reel. That was nice.
Actually, yeah, big shout out, Tino Farah. I know a lot of people are missing the morning shoot around. Don't know exactly what's happening with that podcast, but we're getting our Tino fix now.
We are, for sure.
Him on that Vancouver Warriors podcast with Owen Grant, with Marcus Clarich as well. If you haven't, go to YouTube, go to anywhere where you listen to your podcast, look up the Vancouver Warriors podcast. Tino's doing some awesome stuff there, and they're nice and short, 20 minutes. You get your fix, in and out, boom, there you go.
Unlike this show, because we're 15 minutes in, we're still not halfway through. My bad. All right, finally. So I asked you what his confidence in Vancouver as a title contender. Pat said 8. I don't like to say you convinced me. I will add a half a point here. I'm at 6.5 now, thanks to you. Okay. This game was nice. So is the 4-2 record, which again, like as much as they've struggled, they're still 4-2. but they let me down a couple of times this year. And so as Jake Nation, so I guess everybody in the NLL does this. I didn't realize it was a thing. The thirds of the season. So this is Vancouver's first third. When we get to 66% or the second third, I'm curious on how good they look. I think this next third will be a big tell. So I'll go 6.5 because I'm not there yet, even though I picked them as my team. I'm not going to go away from them yet. But the rush are hard to say, oh, yeah, I think Vancouver could beat them because I don't know that yet. So,
hey, well, there's two teams that can battle it out for a contender. Just remember that. Just remember that.
He said 2. Stay tuned for that question in a minute. All right, Swarm defeat the Rock 10-9 in overtime. Lyle Thompson, 2 goals, 1 primary assist. That came in at the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, in overtime. Lyle Thompson stepped up when he needed to. Also in this game, Brett Dobson, 48 saves. He is on another level. Jacob Hickey, 2 goals and a primary assist. That's ridiculous by that guy. What is Georgia's ceiling this year, Pat? Are we just rebuilding? What's going on?
Listen, I think if you asked me this question 2 weeks ago, I'd probably say first round exit, possibly, a lower seed, a 7, an 8. The more I watch this team and the more they grow as a group, and the more I continue to watch Brett Dobson, and this defense and how difficult they are to game plan against, I want to almost call them maybe a similar group to what we saw from Albany a couple of years ago.
Wow.
But they have more veteran presence than that group did, especially offensively, with guys like Shane Jackson, with guys like Lyle Thompson, with Brian Cole. And on the back end, though, they're kind of that young group. Maybe it's a swap because we saw a bit more veteran leadership on the back end for that Firewolves team. And it was a young offense. Maybe it's a little bit more veteran presence on the front. Am I saying that I think this Georgia team can make it to the finals? Am I predicting them to make it to the finals? I'm not predicting it, but you asked me what the ceiling is. I think the ceiling is Final Four, maybe even the finals. I think that this group could possibly get there. I really do, with the way that the goaltending and the defense is playing. The offense just has to be opportunistic enough to capitalize on their chances. And that's what they did last game against Toronto. That's what they've done in other games. The game against Oshawa where they scored 9. Obviously,
they did beat Colorado, by the way.
They beat Colorado pretty handily. They also then lost by only scoring 5.
Though. It's not bad, though. They scored 7.
Exactly. So, for me, the ceiling. That is the ceiling. That is the absolute ceiling. If the offense can hang around and, man, oh, man, we'll do it again. Hopefully the AI camera doesn't follow me this time. I'm going to pat myself on the back again. I said that if Georgia was going to make the playoffs, they have to average around 10 goals against or under, and they are doing that in spades right now. When you look at Brett Dobson's numbers, 6.89 goals against, their team average is 7.42. We're going to see a drop off at some point. There is going to be a game where they're going to get lit up, or Dauber's going to have an off game, or the defense falls apart. That's going to happen. So we're going to see water find its level. But I think if they can even hover around 8-9 goals against, this team has a chance to go on a deep run. The firepower might hold them from competing with the Saskatchewans, the Buffaloes, the Vancouvers, the Colorados of the world. But I think the ceiling, I won't say finals just yet, Mike. Here's what I'll say. The ceiling is a Final Four run. That's how much confidence I have in Brett Dobson in this defense right now.
Wow. Okay, so before I give my answer, I thought I was being generous, or not really generous. I just felt good about it. When you compared them to a couple of years ago, Albany, I was like, ooh, that one stung. Because I don't know if I think that's an original Pat take, right? That's not like.
Well, it just came in my brain 4 seconds ago when we were talking about it.
Wow. So. I just want to say great preparation, first of all. All right, so Kai the goalie said Lyle is back. Another comment by Kai also said Lyle said they're still working on chemistry, which makes sense because they're a bunch of young guys. Beat the brakes off Colorado. Robert made a great point. Was Lyle playing through a slump? Is he hurt but now healthy? Stay tuned for my lunchbox for the record on that. But I made a tweet saying that Lyle looked like he was 63 and not 33. I stand by that because I've said before, I wonder if he is ailing. And if someone commented about a hamstring, possibly, allegedly, that would make sense to me because that's why you have the one really good game against Calgary. That's why you're not, because he's a loose ball guy. He's not chasing them right now, and he saves himself for the fourth quarter and overtime. That reeks of a person who's ailing a little bit, which is fine because it means he'll get back to normal. So I just want to set that out there. Don't be surprised if y'all see, oh, Lyle's playing great now. Listen to your boy, all right? Now, what is Georgia's ceiling? I actually said, like similar to Ottawa, I think Ottawa's maybe got a little bit better ceiling. I said they could pull off a first-round upset. Because if the offense does wake up, Brett Dobson, for the first time in his NLL career, is locking down the fort like we all wanted him to do when he was drafted. So this guy, if he's going to play like this, forget the one or two off games. I haven't seen it yet. And usually by this time for the last 4 years, we've seen that. But we have not this year, which leads me to believe Brett Dobson is going to keep it up. The NLL does not want the Georgia offense to wake up because they will be right there with a lot of possible contenders. So I'll say first round upset, though. I think they can do that.
I mean, obviously, I agree. If I think they have potential to make it to the Final Four, I will tell you this though: if they end up, but right now, they're 4-3. Where are they in the standings right now? They're the seventh seed. Okay, I'm looking at Graham's. Okay, so they're 7. So if they finish 7, I even think like anywhere from, I don't want to say it. I'll say the other way: 8, 7, 6. I won't say that.
Yeah, right. Good for you.
If they finish 8, 7, 6, I think that any team that they're playing, like the higher seed, does not want to play them at all. They are poised to be that upset team. Let's not forget, they almost knocked off the Buffalo Bandits 2 years ago in round 1. They went to overtime.
I keep saying, and this year they played well through the first 2.5 quarters.
If they are a team that you're matched up against in that first round as a higher seed, you do not want to play this team at all. No chance.
And by first round upset, we mean they can beat anybody. We're just scared of the 3 games. So it's not saying they can't beat Vancouver, Saskatchewan for a one-off. Just for the record there.
Oh, 100%.
It is 5th place. Graham did. I don't know why I thought 7 earlier, but whatever. It was 5. Graham's doing. Hey, Graham's been cooking this year, like not waiting at all for us. I love this.
No, it's been great. It's been fantastic.
It's just easier to navigate that website. Love it. All right, final game on the slate, and stay tuned for Greggy's Grinder with the music and the lunchbox coming up soon. I'm so bad. All right, Mammoth defeat the Firewolves 15-11. Before I get to my question here, people like to complain about, there's the fans might have wanted to watch a Bills playoff game or this, that, and the third. It was cold. How about a day before the AFC Championship game where it was going to be a freaking blizzard from what it looked like from my Georgia eyes? 8,500 people still showed up to this barn and were loud as ever. Good for y'all. Mammoth are one. No one talks about them, but when we talk about the Buffaloes, they are some of the best fans in the NLL or sports, period. Place is electric. Anyways.
They don't call it the Loud House. They don't call it the Loud House for nothing, Mike.
Yeah, it's crazy. 5-2 Colorado, 2-6 Oshawa. Alex Simmons and Ty Kurtz 4 goals each. It meant nothing because Dylan Ward had 49 freaking saves, and Andrew Q had 4 goals, 4 primary assists, and 7 loosies. 10 points if you're doing that math. Pat, has Colorado entered Tier 1? And side part, how many teams are actually in Tier 1 for you?
So this is a little bit of a trick question for me because I think right now Tier 1 is just Saskatchewan.
Wow.
If we're going on body of work so
That's
far.
fair.
If we're talking about down the road, who can win a title?
I like that.
It's a different story. It's a different story because I already said I think Vancouver is a team that can win. I think obviously Colorado is a team that can win. Saskatchewan is right there. Rochester is on the precipice for me. And I think that's probably about it. Oh, Buffalo, no doubt. I don't care. As long as they get in the playoffs, they're a championship caliber team for me. But we're talking about right now. How are you playing right now? How do you look right now? We'll go power rankings the same way. It's like, what have you done for me lately? So I think Saskatchewan right now is on their own in their own tier. That next tier, atop of that tier number 2 or 1B, if we want to even call it that, is Colorado, is Vancouver, Rochester, possibly.
Fair.
I still think Bandits, their depth still needs to show up. I still think that when you look at Ottawa, the consistency is not there. They haven't been able to string 2 quality wins in a row.
Yeah.
Toronto is, again, real young team. Don't know if they're there. We know what the struggles that Halifax is currently going through. San Diego, we already talked about them. Vegas, we know what their Achilles heel is. Georgia, again, offense needs to show it a little bit more. So, correct. And then I think the other teams that I'm not mentioning, I think you know exactly where I'm heading here. But Colorado's right there. If Colorado, I think, had a full season of Jack Hanna, a full season of Andrew Q, we're talking about this team being the number 1 team in the National Lacrosse League right now. I believe it. In my heart of hearts, I believe it. Since they picked up Jack Hanna, since the turn of the calendar, Mike, they're 4-0, beating Rochester, beat Georgia on the road, beat Oshawa on the road, and then handle Oshawa pretty well. They host Buffalo next week. Or is it this week? It's this weekend, isn't it?
Uh-oh.
They can beat Buffalo, put them up with the tier. Put them up with the tier with Saskatchewan. Then it's those 2 teams together. But they're just right there. They are absolutely right there. This team, I think you could argue, and I'm going against myself here, Mike. I think you could argue this is the most complete team right now as it stands in the National Lacrosse League. Dylan Ward is having an unbelievable season that nobody wants to talk about.
By the way, back-to-back great seasons for him.
8.89 goals against average, 82.9 save percentage, a 5-2 record, almost 300 saves already.
Wow.
You've got the defense that maybe isn't as veteran laden as it has been before, but guys like Robert Hope, guys like Warren Jeffrey are holding down the fort as veterans. And then you have some Jordan Gillis as well. But then you have guys coming into their own like Owen Down, Dylan Hess, Tim Edwards. I got to include him in the veterans as well. They've got a great blend of old guys and young guys. And then on offense, is their depth as strong as I'd like it to be? No, but I think you could argue they've got the best 1-2-3 punch in the NLL going right now with Malcolm Q and Hanna. I'm concerned long term if you are able to slow 1 or 2 of those guys down. Is a guy like Thomas Vela able to step up? He's more of a crasher and a banger.
Played well this Saturday.
Yeah. Braden Sarah still needs to show me more. Owen Ron as a guy that can, come up and play some offense as well. But for me, Mike, that's the one area that maybe I would be concerned is their depth scoring. But when you have 3 guys that are filling the net as consistent as those guys are, maybe you don't really need all that much depth.
No, I mean, I just want to say Jack Hanna's passing. I didn't pay attention to him like that before. His passing is underrated. Like he had like this one play where Dyson Williams was called back on defense late in that game, and Jack just kind of like one hands it over to the other guy, like to Owen Ron behind the net for like another dunk goal. Owen Ron doing his Larson Sundown impression with that hat trick on Saturday night, by the way. I'm glad you mentioned Dylan Hess. We're a big Hess truck show over here. And then Dylan Ward. Last year, when he was 8-9 for his record, he has 79.4 save percentage. I mean, this year is just building on that with a better team in front of him now. Is Liger, is there a possibility he comes back towards the end of the year? We don't know that.
Listen, I've heard like mixed reports.
Okay.
I've heard some people saying that he could be back in mid-February. I've also heard some people saying he's done for the year. He's not going to come back. Well, I mean, if he can come back, look out. Absolutely.
Could be a nice incentive. They're pretty good.
But I mean, I'm not resting my laurels on him coming back, but I think that would solve some of your quote unquote depth issues that I speak of.
Right.
Because it bumps everyone down now on that left-hand side. I don't know, man. I to win a championship, I'm sure they probably need adding a guy like Eli into that roster. But
pretty good.
Since 2026, since the calendar turned to 2026, I think you could argue them and Saskatchewan are on their own level.
And again, before I get to my my answer to your Greggy's grinder here, Kai the goalie was pretty much on my wave. Like he's talking about the what was it, Connor Kelly, possibly. But the reason I like that he said that is because Brad Self, the GM for Colorado, right? Like being able to pull off the Jack Hanna trade officially. Andrew Q has been a godsend for that offense, by the way. I mean, and if those rookies can step up more, I mean, he might be up there for GM of the year. No one's even talking about it yet.
That's a great point. No doubt about that. I mean, you can even talk about what he was able to do. A guy like Dylan Hess, I know it was last year's draft, six rounder. Like,
right.
Oh,
that's crazy.
I think the only other person that maybe would have something to say about GM of the year, two, I would say, John Arlotta in Georgia, just with the way that he was. And it's funny that we talked about the guy that got fleeced in that other trade, but his draft was so good.
Correct.
So I would knock him though for the Q trade. So he wouldn't be on my top 3 ballot or even my top 2 ballot. And the other one is probably Sean Williams in Las Vegas for what he was able to do in free agency, grabbing Chris Kluche, grabbing Chase Fraser, Mitch Jones, bringing in Malcolm and LaFontaine on the back end.
Yes, and LaFontaine's been great for them.
But he didn't get a goalie.
Not yet.
So
if he does, though.
Not yet. If he does, then maybe we're talking. I think I agree with you. I think I just made my case for you that Colorado, Brad Self should be GM of the year if we were putting our ballots together right now.
And I just want to say another mention, and then I'll move on. Dan McRae bringing Rob Hellier that is incredible what they've turned over. Like, just bring him in. The offense is way different.
That one move alone should get him on a lot of people's ballots.
That's what I'm saying. At least 4th on my 1 through 4 that I do.
Yeah, love it.
If it's more than that, I feel like the face is like it's smaller and smaller. So letting people know. All right. So again, the question was, has Colorado entered Tier 1 and how many teams are in that category? Pat, great answer by you, by the way. So I still have my big 4 because I thought long term with Buffalo, Saskatchewan, Colorado, Vancouver. Colorado has entered that chat though because it was a big 3. I never put Halifax or Rochester in there yet. And so far, Colorado leapfrogged them both. So I do think Colorado's made a 4-team race based on preseason, based on the body of work. By the end of the season, I think those 3 teams will be there, Buffalo, Vancouver, and Saskatchewan. But I think Colorado might be that 4th team, and then whoever wants to fall in 5. So, all right. Finally, you're tuning in to Daily Dive Radio and Greggy's Grinder. Really good music. Royalty free, by the way, which is even better. All right, sir. So remind people quickly what Greggy's Grinders is, and then give me your nominees and winner.
Greggy's Grinders, what this is all about. It's not the guys that are getting the flowers in Mike's 3 stars. It's not the guys that are showing up for the TFL 3 stars on the broadcast, or guys that are getting shout outs because they're filling the net or dishing out apples
or commissioners picks.
Or commissioners play of the week, or goaltenders who are standing on their head. No. These are the guys that put their hard hat on. They put their work boots on. They grab their lunchbox and they go to work. They do the dirty work that none of these superstars really, I shouldn't say none, but some of the superstars don't want to do. These are the unsung heroes. These are the grit grinders that put in the work. And without these guys, the superstars wouldn't be able to shine. So I'll quickly start things off. Although this guy is on the precipice of becoming a superstar in this league, I think some people would argue that he's already a superstar. And this is exactly why I say I said not all superstars don't want to do the work. But quick shout out, Jack Hanna, 3 caused turnovers. We know what he was able to do with his playmaking ability, but I thought he was absolutely relentless in the forecheck, in the ride, able to turn the ball over 3 times. Just ended up with 1 loose ball, but I just thought that, anytime a forward is able to rack up 3 caused turnovers, it deserves some shine. The other player, you already mentioned him earlier on. I had to give him some love, but I wasn't going to give Georgia another grinder 2 weeks in a row. Got to spread the love here. Jacob Hickey, 2 goals, 1 assist, 10 loose ball, 1 caused turnover. Coached him in his first season of junior. The West Durham Ironheads. Was an offensive player when he moved up to junior A. Still played a little bit of offense, but that's how good of an athlete, that's how good of a lacrosse player is. He's learned how to be a defender, and he just played about under a half season last year. He is absolutely flourishing. So I had to give Jacob Hickey a big shout out for his play. My last honorable mention, he didn't record a single point, but a big reason why Vancouver's 5-on-5 offense finally came to life is because Ryan Martell was in the lineup, crashing, banging, freeing up space for Jesse King and Adam Charlambides, the lefties, to finally cook in even situations. This team has desperately been missing Martell. The Marty Party arrived, and you could obviously tell that his hard work was shown by the others on the floor getting their chances. Last, but certainly not weak, Greggy's Grinder of the Week. I'm going to stay in Ottawa, but I'm going to go with Vancouver. You mentioned his name already as well. Owen Grant. 3 blocks, 1 caused turnover, but his presence was felt away from the score sheet. A big reason why Rob Hellier was held just to 4 assists is because he was covering him all night long. He had nothing. Couldn't beat him underneath. Couldn't sweep over the top. And those 3 block shots were from point blank, just coming up, boom, soak him in the chest like Adam Sandler preparing for hockey season and Happy Gilmore. He is a big, strong, athletic. People are kind of wondering why. Well, wait a second here. Why isn't he putting up the numbers? We saw he missed that open net. He's not getting the chances. He's not scoring. Is it because Shane Simpson's here? Yes, these are all big reasons why he's not putting up the big numbers. The other reason is that Kurt Malosky's trusted him to be more of a defensive presence. Almost every single night, he's going up against one of the opponent's top offensive threats. He did that with Hellier, and Hellier was neutralized. So the Newmarket, Ontario native grabbed his hard hat, put his work boots on, grabbed his lunch pail, went to work in Ottawa with fans, friends, and family in the stands, put on a show, and that's why he's my grinder this week.
Love that. I heard he packed an Oshawa barn too. That was good.
Yes, he did. He's got a lot of fans, a lot of family. They show out big time whenever Vancouver makes it Ontario.
He didn't make it to my lunchbox segment, which is coming in the next 2 seconds here. But him against Callum Jones. I mean, I know Del Bianco Teat was the superstars there. I just love that Owen Grant and Callum Jones are like basically the same like kind of guy for their teams. They're both fearless defenders who are they do so many things. I love them both. We got to see them in the same game. We got to see also Jeff Teat and Del Bianco. So, but
let's see it.
Let's see here. You watched a little bit of Gunsmoke, right?
Before my time, I know what the show is. I know what the show is.
Do we get a thermos here? I don't think we do. Oh, we don't. That's okay. I actually didn't know because it felt like there was something in there. Anyways, Mike's lunchbox. Oh, let's put it down there. It's kind of flying open there. All right. Anyways, no though. Few nominees here, and then we got a winner. Alex Simmons. Again, you can't really win it if your name is Alex Simmons, but I mean, this dude, like, talk about the goalies playing well in a loss. Alex Simmons, he has been on fire since Elsha's offense woke up, and they keep finding ways, like, just keep on losing. So, Alex Simmons has been great. He's been firing away. In that game against Colorado, he had 4 goals, 4 primary assists. He doesn't pass the ball, by the way. 8 loose balls, 1 caused turnover. The guy's a menace and doesn't even matter right now for them. Jacob Hickey also made it for me. Kind of sad that none of us picked him. Because I think Matthew Karuk and who was the other guy with him? I keep forgetting.
Brian Shanahan.
And it was a Shanahan. Brian Shanahan said, noticed that, he didn't pull any fakes on both goals. He just kind of picked his spot and shot at great point by them. But he was not my winner. Lyle Thompson was close because if I believe he's nursing an injury, doing well until that crunch time, shout out to you, sir. That's pretty grinder, as much as grinder as it gets. Grinder's now an adjective or something. But my winners are actually Reed Bowering from the Vancouver Warriors.
Like that.
I mentioned him earlier. He 1 primary assist, 2 blocks, 1 call server, 8 loose balls. It wasn't even a stat line thing for me. I just watching that game, just like Owen Grant stuck out, Reed Bowering, I'm like, because I know he's had flashes, but I never felt like, and this could be a wrong statement, I never felt like he was playing up to his potential yet. And I feel like he looked really freaking awesome against Ottawa. And stats may not tell the whole story, but he looked very tough. I don't think anyone wanted to be in his way because he was knocking people around too.
He also was covering Jeff Teat a lot. A lot.
There you go.
I know Teat still puts up 6 points, but he did a pretty good job at least silencing him. It's funny that people, it's 6 points, 3 goals, a hat trick. Well, you know what?
Half.
I think there's a lot of teams that would sign off if, hey, we're gonna give Jeff Teat 6 points. If everyone else around us is not lighting us up, I think a lot of people are going to sign off for that. I love the pick and Bowering. He was potentially going to be one of the finalists for me.
He's only 27 years old, so now I feel better. He's a young guy. He's still he's also a big body, which is kind of comes easy for him anyways. But watching that, I was he was a tough dude. Tough dude.
Yeah, and he's 2-time transition player finalist of the year. But similar to what I was talking about with Owen Grant over the last couple of years, and maybe why you think he hasn't really kind of lived up to that hype, is because he's been more focused since Kurt Malosky came in. Malosky's trying to make him more of a well-rounded defender, whereas in previous years, he's more of a guy that's going to take off, get involved in transition, a loose ball machine. But since the coaching staff, the regime comes over with Kurt Malosky and Chris Williams, what they've been working on him is becoming more of a defense-first defender, then use your athleticism. And I think it was on full display in Ottawa. You are totally right, because I thought he was outstanding.
I told you I was sweating that under 7. I thought we were going to get a push, and I was having that ugly and 1 at the end of my record. But I have to admit, man, I felt more and more confident watching those guys just shut them down. That was ridiculous.
No doubt.
Thank you, Pat, for your time here. We will have that graphic ready for you pretty soon here. But just thank you for all you do. And also, you've been doing a great work on TSN, but Ashley Docking won the broadcaster grinders this week. And she is related to Big Comfy Couch Girl. When I saw the videos, I'm like, how are they? I didn't know she was going to interview her. When she did, oh my God, they're twins.
Yeah. Shout out to Ashley. She hopped on a bird on the way home, went from Ottawa to Toronto. And we were actually talking, I think it was maybe on the way back to the airport. And I asked her, I said, did you see that Lunette from Big Comfy Couch is going to be at the game? And she's like, I beg your pardon. What? She's like, I had no idea. What does she do? Calls her producer. We got to interview her. We have to make this happen. Sure enough, it happens. That's the pro that Ashley Docking is. She made sure that interview would be with Lunette. I thought she did a phenomenal job. Back-to-back games aren't easy for players. It's not easy for broadcasters either.
No.
I don't think I have one this year, to be honest, but we'll see.
Come on, man.
I know.
Well, when Ashley's driving the truck, what does it matter?
I know. I am in Halifax this weekend, back with Mackie and Pete. Ooh. Excited to get back with the band. Excited to see Georgia again up close and personal. So I think Friday, Mike, this is a little bit of behind the scenes here for the folks, but Friday should be good to go. Flight's not until the afternoon. So we'll do our hit on Friday, then I'll hop in a car, get ready to go to the airport. So best bets are still on.
You mentioned real quick. You mentioned Pete Dalladay. I told you I've been working on an impression. I don't have it for him yet. I do have a Craig Brzezinski from the Rochester.
Okay. Are you debuting it right now, or are we gonna wait for
it? Yeah, it's bad. Oh, Connor Fields, what a shot, Rochester. Oh, it's better. I'm sorry.
It's pretty good. No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Not as good as the Cody Jansen, but Pete Dalladay's next, I think.
Yeah, so if you want to master Pete Dalladay's call, it's showtime in Halifax.
It's showtime in Halifax, Pat Gregoire. Welcome to the NLL. It's close. It's close.
It's getting there. Speaking of which, Lower Bowl completely sold out already for Halifax.
I mean, they're having so many sellouts. I don't even know if it's a big deal anymore.
It isn't. If the tickets,
they enter Buffalo territory.
If they had a big enough barn, I mean, I'd be interested to see how many people they could really stuff into this place. But
ask Kurt or whatever his name is, whatever his name is, to add a third floor or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I think outdoor game, Halifax. Let's do it. Oh,
stay tuned for 3 stars. Thank you, Pat Gregoire. It's a beanie for the record, folks. Anyways, I have, before we move on here, I just want to let you guys know, I honestly, there's some shows I watch but forget about. Big Comfy Couch was one of them. When I saw The Rock advertising that, I was like, oh my gosh. Don't. The wind around. Wow, that was crazy stuff. Good pull by The Rock, by the way. And shout out to Ashley Docking for getting out there and seeing her twin sisters. It's great. They're going to make a movie about that one day. All right, folks, when we come back, stay tuned for 3 stars of the weekend. The best winning performances. These are not the grinders. These are the stars of the week. You don't want to miss it here on Daily Dive. We'll be right back.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
BetUS and North American Talk Radio have partnered to bring you the preferred betting platform in the United States, and you will get a deposit bonus of up to 150% if you use promo code 120Z. Take it from me, I'm a cowboy and a gambler. I wrangle my bets on BetUS, and I use the promo code 120Z to get free money. Yee-haw! That's BetUS and promo code 120Z. Now giddy up.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. That clown emoji looks wild on this comment section by Kai the goalie. Fire Sawyer, welcome back to the Coach Strike. It's a 2K, eh? And PJ says, comment. All right. Reminder, folks, while you're here, that there is NLL merch found at natalkradio.us/NLL. We appreciate you for supporting your team, players, and the show. Player name shirts, awesome looking hoodies, some good team t-shirts. I feel like the selection actually grew, by the way. I checked the other day. I'm like, there's a little bit more stuff here. So I kind of like that. Kai, that's just unfortunate, man. How dare you, sir? All right. Now let's move on to 3 stars of the weekend. The best winning performances. First one, Christian Del Bianco, 42 saves. 84 save percentage because he did only allow 8 goals. 1 primary assist to reach 100 career points. That was to Shane Simpson. 1 loose ball in a CTO for Del Bianco. Second star of the weekend goes to Andrew Q. Now, while Dylan Ward was great, he still allowed 11 goals. And while he still looked really good out there, Andrew Q, the offense was offensing for Q. 4 goals, 4 primary assists, 10 technical points, 7 loose balls for Andrew Q. looked incredible out there. He has been a weapon for that team. And finally, first start, Brad Thompson. This guy, 48 saves. Guys, I know Lyle Thompson was great. Brad Thompson is having a crazy, crazy year. I cannot stress to you, when I said before the season, when Spencer Conley predicted him for goalie of the year, when I said the Swan would make the playoffs because of him, I had no idea how amazing he was going to be. This is a week after week. Brad Dobson is not letting anything by. And like Dylan Ward's been great, has a great team in front of him. Matt Vince is Matt Vince. Del Bianco's got the Vancouver Warriors. Guys, Brad Dobson, what he's doing right now, it's like if he keeps doing this, he is my goalie of the year because he doesn't have a team in front of him. He's got young guys in front of him. That has to matter. Brad Dobson looks like the goalie of the year right now. Honorary Canadian guy, the goalie had me cracking out. That's why I laughed earlier. I ate ketchup, fries. I'm pretty much, oh, wow, that's brutal. I like ketchup on fries, but not like that. Yeah, I agree. Like I think Lyle Thompson is saving himself. And the fact that against Calgary, he had a great full game. And then against Toronto, he had a great final frame. I think give it maybe 2 or 3 more games. I think Lyle Thompson's going to start really cooking this year. But I do think seeing that is a good ketchup chips. My God, that is ugh. I think that Lyle Thompson in the next 2 or 3 games is going to really start looking healthy again. And I think our assessment of if he was actually healthy is going to look pretty good here. Because, like I said, a full game against Edmonton, pretty much, really a good first half. And then a fourth quarter in overtime, I think he's finally feeling better. So we'll see. All right, folks, that's it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you to Pat Gregoire coming on the show again. Guys, there are 7 games, I believe, this coming out week. So that's going to be fun. But tomorrow we're going to give our MVP race update, my award ballots. We'll do that tomorrow along with fresh fits and more. Thanks so much for tuning in to Daily Dive. Stay safe. Have a great Monday if you can. This has been Daily Dive. Bye.